Alright, let's get raw. Want to know why some men dive in head first when it comes to her pleasure, while others pull back like it's a battlefield? What's really going through a man's head when he's down there? Fear, love, ego, or something deeper? Oh, and here's the twist. This is less about sex and more about who we really are as men. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll see yourself in a way you've never seen before. True confidence isn't about what you take, it's about what you give. Some men feel a strange power in making their partner feel good, not because they're expecting anything in return, but because the act of giving is the reward. It's like creating a masterpiece. The payoff? Watching her smile, her body language, her trust. That's the real trophy, not your ego. Stoicism teaches us to control desire, not to kill it. But what if giving becomes the ultimate control? You don't chase validation anymore, you become it. Here's the secret sauce no one talks about: emotional intimacy. It's not just about the act, it's about being vulnerable. Closeness, eye contact, knowing someone so deeply that physical walls come crashing down. And yeah, it's scary, vulnerability always is. But for the Stoic man, facing fear isn't a choice, it's a duty. Letting go of ego to embrace her completely, that's where trust and connection are born. Let's be honest. Curiosity drives the boldest moves. For some men, exploring her reactions, her preferences, her rhythm isn't just physical, it's art. You've got to approach it like a scientist. Observe, listen, adjust. Every move she makes is a clue. Every breath she takes is feedback. You're not there to rush the process. You're there to study, to connect, to discover. And when you do, that's when things get real. Now here's where it gets spicy. Oral sex is a power play. For some, it's about submission, giving control over to her and saying, "This moment is yours." That takes real courage. For others, it's about mastery, knowing you have the power to bring her to the edge and back like you're conducting a symphony. Either way, it's a dance between strength and vulnerability. And when done with respect, it's pure magic. Most men carry baggage into the bedroom. Am I doing it right? Does she like it? Is this enough? Society screws us over, teaching us perfection instead of presence. Listen, perfection is a trap. What she wants isn't flawless technique. It's you being real, being there. Stoicism reminds us, don't focus on things outside your control. Focus on what you can. Show up with effort, care, and an open mind. That's what makes the difference. Why are men still afraid of oral sex? Stigma. Old, outdated beliefs about dominance, control, or shame. Real intimacy doesn't care about taboos. It's about acceptance. Loving every part of your partner physically, emotionally, and yes, sexually. When you reject these stigmas, you're not just freeing yourself. You're showing her she's fully accepted too. That's power. Here's the underrated hack: communication. Real talk. If you can't openly discuss what she likes, what she needs, and how she feels, you've already lost. Ask questions. Watch her body language. Experiment together. Intimacy isn't about ticking boxes. It's about exploration. When you're open and honest, the pressure fades. And what's left? Magic. This one's for the real ones, giving without expecting anything in return. The Stoics called it virtue. Today, we just call it love. When you focus 100% on her, when her joy becomes your mission, it's not just her who wins. That connection strengthens you too. Relationships thrive when they're built on care and trust, not ego or games. Showing vulnerability makes you stronger. Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being in control. And guess what? Letting your guard down, focusing entirely on her needs. That's real control. That's courage most men run from. This isn't about sex. It's about change. In a world where men are told to dominate, control, and always take, choosing to give is rebellion. You're rewriting the narrative. You're saying, I don't play by society's rules. I honor her. I see her. There's an invisible tug-of-war happening inside every man during moments of intimacy. On one hand, society has hammered into us this idea of being the strong one, the protector, the provider. Vulnerability? That's supposed to be weakness. But on the other hand, when you're truly connected to someone, being vulnerable is what strengthens the bond. Oral sex, for some men, represents that vulnerability. It's not about losing power. It's about dropping the mask society forces us to wear. It's about saying, I see all of you, and I'm here for it. It's raw, unfiltered, and deeply human. The act itself becomes a symbolic gesture, a step away from ego and toward a sharper connection where nothing is held back. But here's the twist. Men who embrace this vulnerability often feel stronger in the end. They realize that real masculinity isn't about walls. It's about having the courage to take them down. A lot of men avoid action like oral sex out of a fear of being judged, either by their partner, their own inner critic, or society's warped standards of manliness. Thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough? Or, what if she's secretly comparing me to someone else? Can creep in. And suddenly, intimacy becomes a battlefield of insecurities. Here's the kicker, though. This fear isn't about their partner. It's about themselves. It's rooted in a deep, almost primal worry of not measuring up. Men are constantly fed the idea that they have to perform, excel, dominate. Anything less, that's failure. But here's what most guys don't realize. Women don't crave perfection. They crave authenticity. The moment a man stops trying to prove himself and starts being present, listening, learning, engaging, is the moment he stops fearing judgment and starts building trust. And trust me, nothing is sexier than that. Silent confidence. The kind where a man doesn't need to boast, prove, or perform. It's magnetic. It's what makes a partner feel safe, valued, and deeply connected. When it comes to intimacy, silent confidence says, I'm here, fully present, and I've got you. It's not about fancy techniques or trying to tick every box in some imaginary checklist. It's about showing up with intention, paying attention to the little things, and letting actions speak louder than words. Silent confidence is also about being comfortable with the unknown. Not every moment will go perfectly, and that's okay. What matters is the willingness to show up, learn, and grow together. And when you do, you'll unlock a level of intimacy that goes far beyond the physical. It becomes something sacred, something unshakable. But let's break it down even further. Silent confidence starts with self-awareness. Knowing your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and your limits. It's not about pretending to have all the answers, but about having the humility to admit when you don't. That kind of authenticity creates a space where both you and your partner can feel seen and heard. Confidence isn't loud, it's steady. It's the calm in the storm. And in a world that's constantly trying to shake us, being that calm for someone else is an act of love and courage. Here's the thing. Intimacy isn't just about knowing your partner. It's about knowing yourself. What drives you? What scares you? What holds you back? The more you understand your own inner world, the more present you can be in someone else's. And that's where the magic happens. When you're fully present, every touch, every glance, every word carries more weight. You're not just going through the motions, you're building something real, moment by moment. There's a term for this kind of presence: embodied masculinity. It's about being grounded in your own energy while remaining open to hers. It's not about overpowering or controlling, but about harmonizing. Think of it like a dance. You're not stepping on each other's toes or trying to lead every move. You're flowing together, creating something beautiful in the moment. And just like in dance, the key is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in her, and trust in the connection you're building. A lot of guys get caught up in the idea that they need to perform in the bedroom, as if intimacy is some kind of test they need to pass. But true connection isn't about performance, it's about presence. It's about being attuned to her needs, her desires, her boundaries. It's about listening with more than just your ears, listening with your heart, your intuition, your whole being. When you approach intimacy this way, it stops being about doing it right and starts being about doing it together. And let's talk about courage for a moment, because being this present, this open, takes guts. It's easy to hide behind bravado or techniques or societal expectations. It's much harder to strip all that away and just be real, but the rewards are worth it. When you show up with that kind of courage, you give her permission to do the same. You create a space where vulnerability isn't just okay. It's celebrated. And that's where the deepest connections are formed. Another key to silent confidence is curiosity. The kind of curiosity that makes you want to learn everything about her, not just what she likes in the bedroom, but what makes her laugh, what inspires her, what scares her, what lights her up. This kind of curiosity shows her that you see her as a whole person, not just a collection of desires or needs. It's a curiosity that says, I want to know you, not just please you. And that's powerful. At the end of the day, intimacy isn't about perfection. It's about connection. It's about two people coming together, flaws and all, and choosing to create something beautiful. It's messy and imperfect and sometimes awkward. But that's what makes it real. And real is always better than perfect. So here's the challenge. Let go of the need to perform. Let go of the fear of not measuring up. Let go of the outdated narratives about what it means to be a man. Instead, show up with quiet confidence. Be present. Be curious. Be vulnerable. And most importantly, be real. Because when you do, you'll not only deepen your connection with her, you'll deepen your connection with yourself. If this resonates with you, take a moment to reflect. What does silent confidence look like in your life? How can you show up more fully, more authentically in your relationships? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's keep this conversation going and redefine what it means to be a man in today's world. Remember, strength isn't about dominance, it's about presence. And love? Love is the ultimate act of courage. But let's not stop there. Let's explore how silent confidence impacts not just our intimate relationships, but every aspect of our lives. Think about how it shows up in your friendships, your career, and your personal growth. When you're silently confident, you're not seeking approval or validation from others. You're grounded in who you are, and that steadiness allows you to navigate life with clarity and purpose. In friendships, silent confidence allows you to show up as a true friend. You're not competing or trying to outshine anyone. Instead, you're present, supportive, and willing to listen. You become the kind of friend people can rely on, not because you're trying to prove anything, but because you genuinely care. That's the power of silent confidence. It creates trust and fosters deeper connections. In your career, silent confidence can be a game changer. It's not about walking into a room and demanding attention. It's about letting your work, your ideas, and your integrity speak for themselves. When you're silently confident, you're not afraid to take risks or make mistakes. You know that failure is just part of the journey, and you're willing to learn and grow from it. This kind of mindset not only helps you succeed, but also inspires those around you. And when it comes to personal growth, silent confidence is the foundation. It's about being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to be. It's about setting goals, not to impress others, but to challenge yourself and become the best version of who you are. Silent confidence means being patient with yourself, forgiving your mistakes, and celebrating your progress no matter how small. Let's circle back to relationships for a moment. Silent confidence doesn't mean you're emotionless or detached. In fact, it's the opposite. It's about being so secure in yourself that you can fully open up to someone else. It's about being strong enough to show your vulnerabilities and wise enough to hold space for theirs. This kind of emotional intimacy is rare, but it's what makes relationships thrive. Imagine a relationship where both partners are grounded in silent confidence. There's no power struggle, no need to prove who's right or who's in control. Instead, there's mutual respect, understanding, and support. Each person is secure enough in themselves to let the other shine. They're not afraid to have tough conversations or face challenges together because they know their bond is built on a solid foundation of trust and authenticity. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Society doesn't always make it easy to embody silent confidence. We live in a world that glorifies loudness, flashiness, and constant validation. Social media, for example, often pushes us to seek likes, comments, and approval from others. But silent confidence isn't about external validation. It's about internal peace. It's about knowing your worth without needing anyone else to confirm it. So how do you cultivate silent confidence in a noisy world? Start by spending time with yourself. Reflect on your values, your goals, and what truly matters to you. Practice mindfulness and gratitude to stay grounded in the present moment. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, and don't be afraid to distance yourself from those who drain your energy. Remember, confidence isn't something you find. It's something you build, moment by moment, choice by choice. And here's one more thing. Silent confidence doesn't mean you're always calm, or that you never feel fear or doubt. It's about how you respond to those feelings. Do you let them control you, or do you face them with courage and grace? Silent confidence is about embracing the full spectrum of human emotions and knowing that they don't define you. You're more than your fears, your doubts, or your mistakes. You're the sum of your choices, your values, and your actions. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to imagine what the world would look like if more people embodied silent confidence. Imagine a world where men and women are equally grounded, present, and authentic, where relationships are built on trust and mutual respect, where success is measured not by how much you have, but by how much you've grown. That's the kind of world we can create. One person, one choice, one moment at a time. So here's my final challenge to you. Take what you've learned here and put it into practice. Start small. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding or a fear you've been running from. Maybe it's simply taking a moment to reflect on what silent confidence means to you. Whatever it is, take that first step. Because the journey to silent confidence isn't a destination, it's a lifelong practice. And every step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. At the end of the day, relationships aren't built on grand gestures. They're built on small, consistent acts of care, curiosity, and vulnerability. Be the man who dares to step out of his comfort zone. Be the man who prioritizes connection over ego, who chooses intimacy over fear. If you're ready to go deeper, not just in your relationships, but in understanding yourself, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts or share your story. Let's start a conversation that challenges outdated norms and celebrates true connection. And remember, real men aren't afraid to love boldly. Let's break the cycle and redefine what it means to show up for the people we care about. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Venture for more insights and conversations that challenge the status quo and inspire personal growth. Together we can redefine what it means to live with purpose, courage, and silent confidence. Until next time, stay grounded, stay present, and stay true to yourself.